This resource is about using the same resource across different settings. One way to understand the distinction among the three groups, primary language, second language, and integrated group, is to analyze how a resource or a strategy might be used differently in the different settings. This week and next, you will see two different strategies, visuals this week, mix and match next week, and you will have a chance to try them out in the Make It Work options. Keep in mind that when similar resources are used in different settings and groups, they provide a way for students to make connections across the day and across language, something that is essential for all learners in a linguistically diverse setting. Visual images that represent the big ideas and key concepts from the instruction are essential in a linguistically diverse classroom. The possibilities for using visual images are many, and the limitations are few in terms of how students could use their prior knowledge and schema to explore the topic of study. One of the best resources for images are the textbooks and the classroom materials that you're already using. It is helpful to let students know that you are purposely using similar resources in different ways in different groups so that all students can build both their language abilities and their knowledge about the content curriculum. In integrated groups, the use of visual images provides a basis for students to work together to co-create oral and written responses and to take advantage of the opportunities for cross-cultural interaction and peer modeling. This visual of a slave market embodies many complex and difficult concepts from our history as a nation. Using this visual as a starting point, students could work in a small group to create an oral or written dialogue, telling what's happening in the picture from the point of view of the person about to be sold, of the woman sitting on the chair, of the children, of the buyers and the sellers. Another way to use the image might be to give a copy of the picture to pairs of students and ask them to create assessment questions for the unit based on some of the concepts that are represented in the picture. To maximize the benefits of interactions in integrated group, it's important that both native speakers and second language learners understand and have opportunities to practice how to work together. Second language learners should be encouraged to express their ideas, but they should not worry about being grammatically correct. Native speakers can become sensitive to and even practice how they can incorporate or build on their partner's ideas, modeling for their peers how they might say or extend their ideas orally or in writing. In second language groups, by using the same visual image, students are connected to the main ideas of the content curriculum, but can manipulate the ideas and language at their own level of proficiency. The WIDA can-do descriptors that you saw earlier in this Explore are a useful tool to guide you in eliciting language and providing context for bilingual learners to practice. Some of the can-do descriptors for speaking include the following. At level 1, entering, students can name pre-taught objects, people, or pictures. They can recite words or phrases from pictures of everyday objects and oral models. In this case, the students could count the pictures. They could point to the picture and say woman, man, child, baby, slave, slave owner, even good or bad. At level 3, developing, students can retell short stories or events. They can present content-based information. So in this case, they could create or repeat sentences about the picture. There are slaves and slave owners. The man is selling the other man. 3 men are watching. At level 4, expanding, students can offer creative solutions to issues and problems. In this case, they could use the picture to talk about slavery and how to convince the men that buying and selling people is wrong. Similarly, the can-do writing descriptors provide guidance for how to engage students at all levels of language proficiency in the writing process. At level 1, students can label objects or pictures from words or phrase banks. They could answer oral questions with single words. At level 3, students can produce simple expository or narrative text, string together related sentences, describe events, people, and content-based information. At expanding, students can summarize and explain at a deeper level. Take a moment to think about how you might use these descriptors to design a writing activity for students at different proficiency levels. Visual images also have a role in L1 or primary language groups, even when students are already fluent readers and writers. The main opportunity of an L1 group is to allow students to go deeper into both the content and the technical skills that they need to understand and express their knowledge. This is especially important for bilingual learners who usually have a limited opportunity to use their primary language in the school setting. But they do need to be able to use their primary language to deepen their thinking and language. So the visual of the slave market could be used in an L1 group to stimulate both oral discussion or independent writing. For example, it could be used to anchor a debate about the reasons for or against selling people. It could launch a discussion of whether there is modern-day slavery or of situations where children are separated from their families. The visual could also be used in writing exercises to focus on the smallest details of the picture and how they provide evidence for what time period the picture represents. This is particularly important, again, for bilingual learners who can use the anchor of the visual image to go more deeply into the ideas than they might already be able to do in English. Copies and pictures of visuals that represent the key concepts and themes of the content can also be sent home to stimulate discussion around the big ideas in students' home language. By encouraging bilingual learners to explore the content concepts at home in their own language, you can make many connections to their homes and their families.